of weeks ago, I made a video about how well we can take criticism. And I mentioned in it that my least favourite personality trait of all time is arrogance. And I did say one day I will make an entire video about why arrogance is the worst personality trait that you could possibly have. Today is that day. It's time to explain why arrogance is, in my humble opinion, the worst trait in the world. Now, according to the English dictionary, the meaning of arrogant is to have or reveal an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. The Cambridge Dictionary goes one step further and says that arrogant means you are unpleasantly proud and behave as if you are more important than, or no more than, other people. Now, first things first, one thing that people say to me when I say how much I hate arrogance is, I think they're just being confident. There is a world of difference between self-confidence and arrogance. On the surface, you might think that they are similar, but they're not. For example, at the moment I am watching a TV show which is a competition for a big job opportunity. No, it's not The Apprentice. Almost everyone on that is arrogant, and that's why I don't watch it. Now, there are people on this TV show that are super confident, and there are people, one particular person actually, who is super arrogant. And the difference is how they portray themselves. For example, the super confident ones are more like this. Why have I entered this competition? Because this is everything to me. I feel like this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I really love doing this. I feel like I'm good at it. And I just want to prove to myself that I've got the skills to do it professionally. You know, I believe in what I'm doing and I'm going to really try my best. Whereas the arrogant one is more like this. Why did I enter this competition? I mean, isn't it obvious? It's really clear that they may as well just carve my name onto that trophy already, because I've looked at the competition and there is no competition. I am better than everyone here. I have got skills that the people in this show could not dream of having. I am just the best, and I am going to prove that I'm the best. I mean, there's going to be judges. There's nothing they can teach me because I know it all already. So, you know, we may as well skip to the final where you just hand me my prize. And it's not just about how they talk about themselves. A really confident person will also try and shine a light on the people around them because they're not threatened by anybody around them. They know that they're good at what they do. They believe in themselves, but they're comfortable enough to also want to be like, hey, this person's super talented. Let them be involved too. An arrogant person is not gonna shine a light on anyone else. They are literally just going to want it to be all about them all of the time. And it's not just shining a light on other people's ability that shows a difference between confidence and arrogance. It's also how those interpersonal relationships happen. Because a confident person can have a debate, for argument's sake, with somebody who has a different viewpoint. And they can be really confident that what they believe is true, but they will also listen and take on board what the other person is saying, even if they don't agree with it. And they'll find a place from which they can argue their side without resorting to nastiness. Obviously, most of the time we're all guilty of, you know, going a bit OTT sometimes. Thank God the real world isn't Twitter. But if you are trying to have a conversation or a debate with an arrogant person, they're not going to listen to your point of view because they are supremely convinced that what they think has to be correct. Once you know that, it does become much easier to see the difference between confidence and arrogance. Something that is really important is self-awareness. Because at the end of the day, we are all basically made out of the same materials. It doesn't matter what we look like, it doesn't matter where we come from, we're all gonna need to go to the toilet occasionally. We're all gonna sometimes, as we get older in particular, walk into a room and go, what did I come in here for? Having the self-awareness to realise that you are just the same as everybody else, regardless of what you look like or where you come from, and it's, you know, our way that we carry ourselves and our individual strengths that make us who we are, and our weaknesses because, you know, you do have to be self-aware enough to recognize that you have some, separates non-arrogant people from arrogant people. Because people who are very arrogant, they don't have that self-awareness. They genuinely think they are the best all the time. They're not going to look at anyone else and think, yep, that's just my fellow human being. They're going to look down on that person, which sucks. Being able to see when you're wrong, being able to accept criticism and being able to go, yep, okay, I messed up, is pretty important. And arrogant people, they don't do any of that. They're not capable of seeing their own flaws because they don't believe they have any. I also genuinely believe that arrogance can lead to basically anything bad ever. That may sound like a big thing to say, but I honestly believe that you can trace back most negative behaviour to basically arrogance. I'm talking from the little things in life to the really big bads. For example, somebody who has a dog and never picks up after them may be doing so because they genuinely think,
"Ugh, I'm not picking up after my dog, that's disgusting."
When you peel the layers back, that can boil down to that person thinking,
"I'm too good to do that."
Arrogance. That's a relatively small crime. Well, I mean, it is until you step in it and you drag it all across your carpets at home, and then it's despicable and gross. But even the big crimes, I mean, I'm talking serial killers. Serial killers, they go around murdering multiple people. Why? Because they genuinely believe they're too smart to get caught. Yes, I'm basically saying most serial killers have a huge amount of arrogance. And it works for basically anything. Think of a bad example of behaviour and I will find a way to tell you it boils down to arrogance. Selfishness? Not caring about anyone else's opinions or needs because you think yours are more important. Arrogance. Dishonesty. Lying or cheating to get what you want because you think what you need or want in your life is more important than anybody else. And why not lie? Because everybody should believe you because you're more important. Arrogance. Impatience. Wanting what you want right now and not being able to tolerate any delay to your desires being met because your desires are more important than anyone else's. Arrogance. Rudeness. Speaking or acting in a way that shows no consideration for the feelings of others. Because why would you consider anyone else's feelings when yours are the only ones that matter? Arrogance. Are you getting the point? I might have convinced you. Maybe you're on my side and you're thinking, yeah, wow, arrogance is the worst trait in the world. But if I haven't, that's fine. I don't mind if you disagree with me because, you know, I am just a flawed human, as are you. Anyway, I think I have talked enough because arrogance genuinely is my most hated trait and I don't want to think about it anymore, quite frankly. If you enjoyed this video though, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can click on my floaty head up there if you'd like to subscribe, and last week's video is over there. I am going to go and continue to be not arrogant because, you know, I don't want to be the worst kind of human there is. I'll talk to you next week. Take care everyone. Bye!